Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. We'll be right back to the show. But before we do, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, factormeals.com, where if you go to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50, you can get 50% off your first order. That's factormeals.com/unbroken50. If you're like me and you are a person who is busy trying to create a life, heal, work on their health, wealth, and relationships, and not to mention deal with the day-to-days of normal life, you do not have time to be going to the grocery store and trying to figure out what you're going to cook every single day of the week. In fact, one time I did the math and I realized I was spending over 15 hours a week at the grocery store and cooking. When I added Factor, I got to use that time for myself, for my family, for my friends, for my community, and for my business. And so if you're in the place where you need some more support in the kitchen, head to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50 to get 50% off.
Nice buns, soft, fluffy, and ultra-low net carbs. Discover Hero Bread, the delicious ultra-low net carb bread with incredible taste and texture. Hero Bread has 0 grams of sugar and is under 100 calories per serving. Plus, high in fiber with 5 to 10 grams of protein per serving. Order from hero.co now and get 10% off your first purchase with promo code AH10. That's 10% off with code AH10, HERO.co.
Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? Welcome to the Think Unbroken podcast. I'm your host, Michael Unbroken, and this podcast is about helping trauma survivors let go of the past, overcome their fear, discover their identity, become the hero of their own story, and ultimately to be unbroken. Our goal in company is to bring on guests and experts in the fields of mental, physical, and psychological health to help you overcome the past, to take back your power. And in this podcast, we are unedited and unfiltered, and we're going to give it to you real so that you can start to create massive change in your life. If you're curious about learning more outside the podcast, you can get a free copy of my book, Think Unbroken, at book.thinkunbroken.com. That's book.thinkunbroken.com, where you can get a copy of my #1 best-selling book, Think Unbroken: Understanding and Overcoming Childhood Trauma. The most important thing that you can ever do, my friends, is show up for yourself, and that's where you are today. And I appreciate you. I have massive gratitude for you. And without further ado, Let's get into the show. Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? Hope that you're doing well wherever you are in the world. Today, I am coming to you live. Well, I guess it's not live since I'm recording this and you're not listening to me record it in real time. I'm coming to you from Burbank, California, just in LA here today, as I've just finished recording as a guest on the Mental Illness Happy Hour. And I have to tell you this, I'm so unbelievably excited that I just got the opportunity to do that, because for the last 7 years, I have had a goal of being a guest on that podcast. And today it finally came to fruition. And I know you guys hear me talk about goals all the time, but first and foremost, I'm going to take a moment and just shout out Paul Gilmartin and the Mental Illness Happy Hour, because, and I don't think I've ever told you guys this, it's actually my favorite podcast in the mental health space. There's no question. It's a guest formatted show. It's not Paul coaching. It's really kind of the opposite of Think Unbroken, but it's this incredible podcast that is all about people sharing their stories, sharing their pain and their suffering, but also their victories and their successes, and it's really incredible. And it has been such a pivotal podcast and really platform for me in my journey, because when I first listened to the podcast, and I want to say it was probably like 8 or 9 years ago, it was something that felt very comfortable. It felt like home. It felt like being seen. It felt like being a part of something. And I've continued to listen to it for years and years. And a few years ago, well, about 6 or 7 years ago, I wrote down a goal that one day I want to be on that podcast. And I've listened to this podcast, Mental Illness Happy Hour, in Thailand, in Vietnam, in London, in New York, in LA, everywhere I've ever been or traveled. It's always been like on my earbuds, right? And I said to myself 7 years ago, I want to be on that show. I want to tell my story. I want to show people that no matter what you come from, that your life can be different. And the reason why particularly that show mattered to me is because it is one that brought me so much compassion and joy and like honestly laughs in the process. And Paul is first and foremost a comedian, but also just a really accommodating and kind person. I mean, I walked in to record with him today and it just felt like I've known him forever. And it was such an incredible and beautiful experience. You know, the reality about all the things in life are this: if you can get very clear about what you want and where you want to go with your life on a long enough timeline, it can come to fruition. You know, here's what's so fascinating about me being a guest on this show. It's not that it's something that will forever change my life. I mean, maybe could it? Yeah, sure. I have no idea. But more so, it was about, I know what I want to do. I know what I want. I want this. And look, there's something to be said that, you know, people can be and are the gatekeepers of some of the things in your life. Yes, of course, that's fair. Somebody listening right now could go, well, Paul might not ever want you on the show. You'll never be on the show, and there goes your goal. That's not how I identify myself. With my goals and what I try to do in my life, I try to only create value for who I am by the effort and energy that I put in every single day. And this is the thing I've been telling you guys about a lot recently, is that you have to get crystal clear about your goals and then measure your self-worth based on the energy that you put into them. And now that I've done this and I've accomplished this, so I'm on the backside of reaching this goal, this huge thing I've wanted to do for almost a decade. And I'm sitting in the hotel room right now, getting ready to start working on the next mission. Because you see, here's the reality. There's always going to be the next thing. There's always going to be tomorrow. Now, in the moment, I celebrated and I got to give Paul a copy of the book with an inscription that I left, and I got to hug him and say, thank you for everything that you've done. And then I walked out the door and it was time for what's next. In the same way that we can get trapped in our defeats, we can also get trapped in our victories. And so for me, the victory for this was the moment. enjoying it, being present, showing up, having the opportunity. And now that we're through that, it's time to start focusing on what's next. Because, and look, I think you can differentiate little goals, big goals, gigantic goals, life-changing goals, all the things, and how much time, effort, energy, money, whatever you spend in celebrating them. And so for me, it was literally in that moment, sitting with him after the show, chatting, talking, connecting, in which I celebrated that victory. Now that we're on the other side of it, what I'm thinking about is what is next. What do I need to do for the Think Unbroken Nation audience? What do I need to do for my podcast? What do I need to do to continue to grow, to create value, and to help the listeners, you guys, the Unbroken Nation, create massive change in your life to ultimately become the hero of your own story, right? You see what I'm saying? If I got focused only in that and I didn't continue to move forward, what will happen on a long enough timeline is that I'll find myself stuck. This is what used to happen to me all the time. I would be in a position in which I actually accomplished something and I didn't know where to go from there. One of the things that I always try to do in my life is have multiple goals. And when I say that, I'm generally around like 5 to 7 goals every single moment of my life that I'm trying to move towards. And so now I got to check this off, move to the next one. Now, look, I want to be clear because, again, I think there's levels to goal. Like being on the podcast wasn't like the number one most important goal of my life. Like I think that there's levels, but it was somewhere that it's been on the back of my mind for years and I write it down frequently, right? Because again, where energy goes, where attention goes, energy follows.
We'll be right back, but I wanted to take a quick moment to tell you about the Think Unbroken 6-week trauma healing coaching program. If you go to coaching.thinkunbroken.com, that's coaching.thinkunbroken.com, you can sign up for the 6-week daily Think Unbroken Trauma Healing Coaching Program. In this program, we're going to go over the 6 principles of healing trauma, adaptation, understanding the impacts of trauma, how to become the hero of your own story, what to do next, and ultimately what it means to be unbroken. For more information about this 6-week coaching program, which you can download as an app on your phone and take with you everywhere, no matter where you are in the world, it's interactive. It's built about giving you practical tools that you can use in real time. And if you're ready for what's next in your life, go to coaching.thinkunbroken.com. Again, that's coaching.thinkunbroken.com. Now let's get back to the show.
And now that I'm sitting here, I'm having this moment and I get to share this with you. One, of course, thank you for listening, but nothing is impossible, guys. Nothing. No matter what you want, no matter where you've been, you can have the life that you want to have. But you have to be willing to put in the effort and the energy. I can't tell you how many times Paul either didn't respond to my emails or told me no or said not this year. You know what I mean? And that's nothing against him. I want to be very clear about that, right? There's always going to be a no in front of your yes. There's always going to be a barrier in front of your bridge. There's always going to be something that's keeping you from going to where you can go in your life. And the truth is you have to be persistent. You have to put in massive action. You have to keep going forward all the time, because eventually if you continue to do that, the thing that you're chasing will come and become your reality. It'll be here. You'll have this moment of going, wow, I actually made this dream, this idea, this thing that I'm chasing become true. You have the ability to do that. Like everyone has the ability to do that, but you have to be willing to go through the no's, go through the blocks, go through the barriers. I mean, it's the same thing as when I wrote Think Unbroken a few years ago. Nobody would give me the time of day. And yet, what I decided to do was not let other people dictate my dream. And so what I want you to think about as you go into the day is, what is your dream? What is the thing that you're moving towards right now where it feels like there's an obstacle in your way? And instead of looking at that obstacle as a defeat, what I want you to think about is, how do you navigate that obstacle to continue to move forward towards what it is that you want in your life?
because there's always going to be an obstacle. There's always going to be an objection. There's always going to be that thing in your way. And if you are willing to adapt a mindset in which you are solution-oriented, this is very important. When you become solution-oriented, you will always be looking for what it is that you can possibly do to make your dream become a reality. And so solutions are about looking at exposing every possible opportunity to still continue to move forward. Because that roadblock in front of you before the bridge, that doesn't make the bridge not there. You see what I'm saying? Like, just because there's something stopping you right now doesn't mean that's the thing that has to stop you forever. I mean, it's the Thomas Edison analogy, right? You know, the guy makes 999 light bulbs wrong, and then he learns how to make it right one time. And that's truth. You have to continue to look for how you make your dream become a reality. And I know I've said that a couple of times, but I really want you to sit with that. What do you have to do in your life today to make your dreams come true? Because there ain't no Disney moment. Nobody's going to hand it to you, and nobody's coming to save you. You're going to have to put in a tremendous amount of effort. You're going to get told way more than you get told yes. You're going to have people slam doors and delete the emails and not show up and not return the phone call and tell you you're not good enough. But you have to continue to look for solutions. What I do when I find myself in a position, let's say I get in a position where I've totally got my back against the wall. I've tried everything I think I can try. There's no other way possible I think that I can figure this out. I take a piece of paper and a pen. I write down what I'm trying to accomplish at the top, and underneath it, until the page is full, I write down every possible solution. Because I'm telling you this, you haven't done everything yet. And when you understand that and you continue to try to build, when you understand that you haven't done everything yet, you're going to be able to put yourself in a position in which you just start writing shit down and check off every single one of those boxes as you go, because you will find that that goal that you're trying to reach is very likely in one of those solutions. All right, my friends, take this information with you. Unbroken Nation, thank you so much for listening. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, tell a friend. And until next time, my friends, be unbroken. I'll see ya.
Unbroken Nation, hope that you just got a tremendous amount of value from today's episode. I want to know what you think. Please do me a favor and review, rate, and share the episode with 3 friends on social media today. It would mean the world if you did, because ultimately at the end of the day, creating community and connection is how we heal generational trauma in the world. And I need your help to do that, Unbroken Nation. So if you're on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you are, please like, comment, share, review. I want to know not only what you like about the show, but how I can make the show better, how I can make this further about helping you on your healing journey. So do me a favor, and when you do, shoot me a screenshot of you making the review to my DM at Michael Unbroken on Instagram, so that I can have a conversation with you, say hi, and more importantly, so I can share it with the Unbroken Nation. Thank you so much, my friend.
Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of live coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program.